The FBI arrested California Governor Gavin Newsom's former Chief of Staff, Dana Williamson, at around 10 a.m. yesterday morning. A federal grand jury charged Williamson with 23 counts, including bank fraud, conspiracy to commit wire and bank fraud, and also conspiracy to defraud the United States and obstruct justice.
The former Newsom aide pleaded not guilty on Wednesday and was released on a $500,000 bond. The indictment alleges that Williamson, alongside former Health Secretary Javier Becerra's Chief of Staff, built a plan to siphon money from a dormant state campaign account belonging to Becerra.
Per the indictment, the reason for siphoning that money from the account was to pad McCluskey's salary. Williamson is also accused of illegally writing off $1 million in business deductions for things like private jet travel, luxury handbags, jewelry, and vacations in Mexico. There are 4 other co-conspirators listed in the indictment.
A spokesman for Newsom said on Wednesday, quote, "Ms. Williamson no longer serves in this administration. While we are still learning details of the allegations, the governor expects all public servants to uphold the highest standards of integrity. At a time when the president is openly calling for his attorney general to investigate his political enemies, it is especially important to honour the American principle of being innocent until proven guilty in a court of law by a jury of one's peers." Williamson's lawyer criticised the U.S. Attorney's Office for arresting her with no warning and accused them of grandstanding. Her lawyer, McGregor Scott, told the New York Times, "The only conclusion I can draw is this is the latest misstep taken down the wrong road by the Trump Justice Department."
The U.S. Attorney's Office hit back, saying in part, quote, "As a matter of course, both for the safety of officers and for the preservation of evidence, this office does not inform defense counsel prior to the execution of a search warrant." The U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of California, Eric Grant, said that the investigation started 3 years ago when President Biden was in office, which is, I think, very relevant information.
Yes.
They often execute searches at inconvenient times for the searched party. Sometimes
that's kind of the point.
Sometimes in the middle of the 10 a.m. isn't even that. That's not bad at all.
Not in the middle of the night.
No, they often do it in the middle of the night, and it's disorienting for people. So it doesn't seem like there's anything out of the surprising to me here. Obviously, presumption of innocence is important, but those aren't really particularly procedural criminal issues. That's fraud and corruption, using public money to buy handbags and take trips to Mexico. That's some pretty basic stuff, and maybe they're innocent of it and they'll be able to prove that, but it doesn't seem like something that wouldn't have been charged except for Trump's sense of political vengeance. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think you are wrong. This is one of those ones where when I first saw the headline on social media or whatever, I was immediately suspicious. It's like, oh, they're like attacking or they're after Newsom, somebody who works for Newsom. Reading the details of it, it doesn't seem like that's the case, quite frankly. There are, as we kind of alluded to in the introduction, 2 other people related to this case who have, I think they've agreed to plead guilty. They haven't actually entered the plea yet, but have agreed to plead guilty. As we did note, this began during the Biden administration, the investigation. The argument is...
Kamala orchestrated it then. The conspiracy runs deeper, my friend.
California infighting among Democrats is the cause of it all. But no, this does seem like there are allegations of the kind of campaign money related corruption that crops up in politics quite often. Of course, the woman in question is entitled to the presumption of innocence, entitled to her day in court. I feel we say that about, as we should, about every case that we talk about here. It is not proof of guilt to be accused of something, but I don't see anything malevolent in the charging of those crimes. I don't really see anything dodgy or shady about it.
Do always want to proceed carefully because campaign finance is complicated and people can violate those laws, and, well, they violated the law without it being willful or particularly important. But when it's handbags and vacations, it's just very obvious things that you can't take public money to do. So again, now they're presenting the strongest case, as they, with the indictment is the prosecution's argument, and the defense gets to make their argument. But I'm not My
Right.
hair is not on fire.
No, and I
Nor
think...
is yours.
No, that never happens in my case. You're much more likely in yours. You're much more greater danger.
I am
of
covered
that.
in hairspray, so.
There you go. Always precarious. No, look, I mean, there are complicated campaign finance laws. As you say, this does not appear that complicated a case. The defendant will have the right to defend herself. We'll see how that all goes. Meanwhile, pressure is building on President Trump over the Epstein files. I will be delivering my notes to that next, so please do stick around for that.